Money runs the world. It builds empires, fuels wars, and defines the fate of nations. Yet behind every economic boom or collapse lies a shadowy truth few dare to question. What happens when money simply vanishes? On September 10, 2001, U.S. Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld stood before reporters and admitted that the Pentagon could not account for $2.3 billion trillion. Yes, trillion, with a T. The next day, the world changed forever, and the story disappeared, buried beneath the smoke and chaos of history. 2 decades later, the question still lingers. How does the most powerful military organization on Earth lose track of that much money? The official excuse was accounting errors, but the full audit was never completed, and many of the records were destroyed in the very wing of the Pentagon struck on September 11th. Coincidence? Maybe. But that wasn't an isolated event. It was a glimpse into something much larger, a pattern of financial vanishing acts that stretch across the globe. In the modern world, more than 90% of all money doesn't exist physically. It's digital, floating in cyberspace as numbers on screens, promises between banks, and complex derivatives most people don't understand. That means entire fortunes can appear or disappear with the stroke of a key. During the 2008 financial crisis, over $10 trillion in global wealth evaporated almost overnight. Stocks collapsed, retirement funds imploded, homes were foreclosed, and millions lost everything. Yet the money wasn't burned or stolen. It just stopped existing. It was a crisis of confidence, the illusion of value breaking down before our eyes. Still, the world moved on, the system rebooted, and a new cycle began, as if nothing had happened. But if that money didn't really exist, what about the wealth we think we hold today? Even our most trusted assets, gold, aren't immune to the mystery. For decades, nations stored their reserves overseas, mostly in the vaults of the U.S. Federal Reserve. Then, in 2012, Germany demanded the return of its gold, 300 tons of it, only to be told it would take 7 years to ship back. When the gold finally arrived, it wasn't even the same bars they'd sent. So where were the originals? No one knows for sure. Some say the gold was leased out or swapped through secret deals. Others whisper that the reserves of multiple countries have been quietly pooled, rehypothecated, or even counterfeited. And Germany isn't alone. Countries like Venezuela and Libya claimed their gold reserves vanished during political upheaval, and their governments were left with empty vaults and unanswered questions. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, the shadow banking system thrives, an invisible network of hedge funds, shell companies, and offshore accounts that move untold trillions every day, beyond the reach of regulators or governments. The International Monetary Fund estimates this hidden economy could exceed $100 trillion, a parallel world of finance where accountability disappears. This is where money can be created, shifted, or erased without leaving a trace, where multinational corporations and billionaires move wealth through secrecy havens and tax loopholes, while nations quietly manipulate currencies to their advantage. So when we ask where the missing trillions went, maybe they didn't vanish at all. Maybe they were simply transferred into the shadows. And now, as the world races into a digital era, a new kind of mystery emerges. The rise of cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies. On one hand, crypto promised financial freedom, decentralized, transparent, and outside government control. On the other, it unleashed chaos. In just a few years, more than $10 billion vanished through exchange collapses like FTX, Ponzi schemes like Terra Luna, and endless hacks and rug pulls. One moment, people are millionaires. The next, their screens show zero. In this new economy of pure data, money can disappear faster than ever. Not in vaults or wars, but in code. Even governments are stepping in, experimenting with digital dollars, yuan, and rupees. programmable money that could track every transaction you make. But what happens when the power to delete or freeze funds sits in the hands of algorithms or unelected officials? When the very definition of money is rewritten as data, accountability vanishes with it. From lost Pentagon trillions to missing national gold, from evaporated stock wealth to invisible crypto, the pattern is the same. Money doesn't die. It migrates. It flows upward, consolidating in fewer and fewer hands, through systems so intricate that even experts can't fully map them. The mystery isn't just where the money went, it's how the world keeps forgetting to ask. Because every financial crisis, every error, every market crash has winners and losers. And while most of us are left holding the bill, a tiny fraction always seems to come out richer. So maybe the greatest financial mystery isn't about loss, but design. Maybe the system isn't broken. Maybe it's working exactly as intended. Think about it. Trillions disappear, yet the global elite grow wealthier. Central banks print more money, and ordinary people are told to tighten their belts. Inflation rises, currencies weaken, debt balloons, and somehow the world's richest individuals double their net worth. The missing money never truly vanishes. It's simply moved, hidden beneath layers of complexity, digital smoke, and global silence. As we move into a future where money exists only in pixels, we must ask, who controls the code? Who decides what's real value? Because the greatest financial mystery isn't in the past, it's happening right now, in plain sight. Every transaction, every bailout, every crisis quietly rewrites the balance of power. And as history shows, when trillions vanish, it's never by accident. So next time you check your balance, remember, money isn't paper, it's trust. And once that trust disappears, the real value might already be gone.